Now with the travel chaos, American Airlines struggling to get back on track, thousands of cancellations and delays, a ripple effect of the weekend's devastating winter storm, leaving many passengers and crews stranded. The airline calling it the most disruptive storm in their 100-year history. Wow. Now with another storm on the way, the points guy, our good friend Brian Kelly, is going to join us with some traveling strategy. Always good to see you, Brian.
Good to be here.
What is the first thing you should do if your flight is canceled or significantly delayed?
Well, I want to take it a step back. What I want is for everyone to not get themselves in that situation. So for this past superstorm, all the airlines, days before the storm, issue weather waivers. So when you know a monster storm's coming to the Northeast, I want you to change flights, because if you would have changed from Sunday to Tuesday morning when there were still seats available, you got home Tuesday morning. If you kept your Sunday flight, rolled the dice, you're not getting home till Thursday. So when possible, pay attention to those weather waivers. They'll let you change for free. But say you are at the airport, you're delayed and canceled. Now in the case of American Airlines, they've had operational issues where you keep getting delayed. I always recommend trying to hop off that crazy train and use your miles or points on another airline, because your only right is getting a refund. So the Department of Transportation states a 3-hour delay or cancellation, get a refund. Now, a lot of airlines will automatically give you a voucher, but there's forms that you can submit for always get the cash refund. Even if you think you're going to fly the airline again, cash is king. So get a refund, and this is where frequent flyer miles come into play. When you're at the airport and the airline's delayed, I always book on another airline later that day as a backup option. Because if that airlines, delays keep getting worse before they get better, so always having options.
That is a good point. If it's caused by weather, just make sure that your frequent flyer miles on another airline can come in handy.
Correct. And with weather, so it doesn't mean the airline can still give you hotel vouchers, but I want people to know you're asking for a favor. When weather or air traffic, the airline doesn't have to. So when you're talking to that agent, do not scream at them. You're asking for a favor. So when you're nice and approach it that way, they may actually give you the hotel voucher. But your credit card, your credit cards, if you use the right credit card to book flights, like a Chase Sapphire Preferred will give you $500 per person if you're delayed to cover Uber, food, nice hotel. And that's per person, just by booking using the right credit card. So the airlines are cheap, but your credit card will reimburse for all those extra expenses.
How can people get ahead of this weekend's storm?
So this weekend storm, I don't know if they're issuing weather waivers yet, but most airlines have flexible change policies. So in advance, if you don't need to take the trip, American is still, yesterday, almost half their flights were delayed. So if you're flying American, you kind of want to sit it out, always call and ask the airline to change. Even if you're technically not allowed to, call, or I actually recommend going into airline apps. The chat feature is great. You can usually get through quicker. And remember, when you chat with the airline, you've got receipts. So when they told you they'll give you the change, or because how often you speak to an agent and then they don't do what you said. So have the receipts in the email chat.
You're right, because it's all in your messages.
Screenshot.
Every time you talk to, you're exactly right.
And the chat is actually quicker than getting through on the phone. And here's another tip. If you want to get through on the phone and it's a 5-hour delay, call the foreign frequent flyer number of the airline. So you're trying to get through Delta Airlines customer service, you can Skype with their Singapore office or call the Mexico customer service line. All the US airlines have English-speaking reps, so their foreign call centers, you can usually get through quicker.
That's a good hack. That's a good one.
It's really a good one.
Now those are going to be fun.
You've given it up. You've given it up. But as you said, just be kind. Kind. That goes a long way.
Trust me, those gate agents, they want you out of there.
All right, Brian.
Good point.
Thank you.